young boys and young girls have prepared for a presentation of prophecies. I won't give much introduction. They will start the presentation now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Thank you. I hope you've been enjoying your evening so far. Has it been fun?
Yeah.
So, Lucky, why exactly are we here?
Bro, there's so many people gathered here today. At this time of the year, that can only mean one thing. It's a Christmas event, and this is a Christmas event.
Good point.
By the way, this is Ronit, and this is Lucky, and this is our HCF youth.
So how long has Christmas been celebrated for?
I'll tell you that, but do you guys know? Any of you?
Any guesses?
How long Christmas?
2000 plus.
2000.
All right.
Any other guesses?
Guess.
2000. We got 2000. Okay, that's it. Precisely, Christmas has been celebrated since 1,682 years prior to this year.
It was first celebrated in the year 336 AD under the rule of Emperor Constantine.
Yeah, Constantine is the first Christian emperor to celebrate the birth of Jesus. And
So why has someone's birthday been celebrated for so long with growing attention?
do you guys have any guesses why this birth is so anticipated?
Do you know anyone else whose birthday has been celebrated for so long?
This long, 1,682 years.
Name any famous people you know of.
Who? Sorry?
Alexander the Great, all right. Any others? Oh, and this is supposed to be interactive.
The crowd is quiet today. Okay, Alexander. Was Alexander's birth prophesied centuries before he was born?
Wait. What's a prophecy?
Prophecy. Hold on.
Lucky.
One sec.
Lucky.
Oh, sorry. Google was a bit slow.
Terrible Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So prophecy is a foretelling of a specific event or a person's life prior to it happening.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm intrigued to see any prophecies that actually were fulfilled.
Sure. HCF Youth today have put together all the prophecies and the fulfillment that have happened. So we'll get Shruti to read the first prophecy. Isaiah. Sorry, Isaac.
Isaiah 7:14 says, Therefore the Lord will give a virgin a sign, and the virgin shall conceive and call his name Emmanuel. This fulfillment is in Matthew 1:23.
Okay. So the prophecy was taking place in Isaiah 7:14 and was fulfilled in Bible in Matthew 1:23. And we'll go. The timeline is around 735 BC and earlier. So we'll have the next prophecy. Oh, and the location was Israel and Bethlehem. Okay, the next prophecy before Jesus' birth. Okay, this is... Danya will read the next prophecy.
The prophecy is Isaiah prophesied this prophecy, and it says, "For a child is given, for unto us a child is given, unto us a son is born, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be Wonderful Counselor, Emmanuel, Prince of Peace, and Everlasting Father. The fulfillment is in Luke 2:7, and it says, and she gave birth at 14 a son. She wrapped him in cloth and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them.
This prophecy was prophesied around. This prophecy was prophesied around 730 BC and was fulfilled either in 4 BC or earlier. It was prophesied in Israel, and it was fulfilled in Bethlehem, where Jesus was born, and it was fulfilled at his birth.
Micah 5:12. Should be.
But you, Bethlehem, Ephrath, though you are small among the clans of Judah, out of you will come for me one who will be the ruler over Israel, whose origins are from old, from ancient times. That was from Micah 5:12, and the prophecy was fulfilled in Matthew chapter 2:6, which is, but you, Bethlehem in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel.
Thank you. And the timeline for this is 737 BC to 696 BC, and the fulfillment took place 4 BC or earlier. The location which was taking place was Israel, and it was fulfilled at the birth of Jesus. The next prophecy was the 11th.
When Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt I called my son. And that was fulfilled in Matthew chapter 2, verse 15, where he stayed until the death of Herod. And so was fulfilled what the Lord has said through the prophet, out of Egypt I called my son.
This prophecy was made in 753 BC and was fulfilled around 4 BC to 4 AD. It was prophesied in Israel and was fulfilled in Egypt. And this was in his childhood.
The next prophecy is from Isaiah 11:10.
In that day, the root of Jesse will stand as a banner for the peoples, and the nations will rally to him, and his resting place will be glorious. And that was fulfilled in John chapter 12, verse 18. Many people, because they had heard that he had performed his signs, went out to meet him.
The timeline for this, the prophecy is around 730 BC, and it was fulfilled at 27 to 30 AD. The location of the prophecy is in Judah, and the fulfillment is Calvary. And fulfilled at Jesus. The next prophecy is from Zechariah 9:9.
Rejoice greatly, daughter of Zion, shout, daughter of Jerusalem. See that your king is coming, lowly and victorious and righteous on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. Zechariah 9:9. This was fulfilled in Matthew 21:5. See that your king is coming, gentle and riding on a donkey, on a colt, a foal of a donkey.
Zechariah prophesied this in 520 BC, and it was fulfilled in 30 AD when Jesus came into Jerusalem. It was prophesied in Israel and was fulfilled on Palm Sunday in Jerusalem. hang on, I think I know a prophecy myself, which is Zechariah 11:13. And the Lord said to me, throw it to the potter, that princely price has said to me. So I took the 30 pieces of silver and threw them into the Lord's house for the potter. This was fulfilled in Matthew 26:14 and 15. Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, what are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you? So they counted for him 30 pieces of silver.
The timeline for the prophecy is around 520 BC, and the fulfillment was 30 AD or earlier. The location for the prophecy was in Israel, and the fulfillment happened in Jerusalem, and it was when Jesus was betrayed. The next prophecy is Isaiah 53:5.
But he was pierced for our transgression, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. And the fulfillment is Matthew 27:26. And they released Barabbas to him, and they flogged Jesus and handed him over to be crucified.
Isaiah prophesied this around 730 BC and was fulfilled 30 AD or earlier. Isaiah prophesied this while he was in Israel, but the fulfillment was in Calvary or Golgotha, and it was fulfilled at his betrayal and crucifixion.
The next prophecy is Genesis 3:15.
This prophecy is, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head and you will strike his heel. This was fulfilled in 1 John 3:8. The one who does what is sinful is of the devil, because the devil has been sinning from the beginning. The reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the devil's work.
The timeline for this prophecy is before 4000 BC, and it was fulfilled at 30 AD. And the location for the prophecy took place in Eden, and fulfillment happened in Calvary, Golgotha. And it was fulfilled at the cross.
The prophecy is Psalms 22:18. They divided my garments among them and cast their lots for my clothing. It was fulfilled in Matthew 27:35. When they had crucified him, they divided up his garments and cast lots.
The writer of this psalm, David, prophesied this around 1000 BC and was fulfilled in 30 AD. It was prophesied yet again in Israel and was fulfilled in on Calvary or Golgotha, and was fulfilled at the cross.
The next prophecy is Psalm 16:10.
The prophecy was in Psalm 16, verse 10. You will not leave me at the place of the dead. You will not let your faithful one rot away. The fulfillment was recorded in Luke 24, verses 6 and 7. He is not here. He is risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you at Galilee? The Son of Man must be delivered over to the hands of sinners, be crucified and be raised again.
The timeline for this prophecy is about 1000 BC, and it was fulfilled around 30 to 33 AD. And the location for this prophecy is in Israel, and the fulfillment was in Jerusalem, and it was fulfilled when Jesus was resurrected.
Wow, I've learnt a lot today.
Yep. Did you guys learn anything? Sorry. Did you guys learn anything?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So Jesus' life is interpreted into 3 tenses, English tenses: past, present, and future. So,
In the past, his birth was prophesied, and they were fulfilled in his life, in the 5 stages of his life: his birth, his childhood, his ministry, his death, crucifixion, and his resurrection.
yeah. So Jesus is with us this Christmas, and we hope you all have enjoyed and listened.
If you want to know more, you can ask any of us, or you can ask John Uncle here, or anyone from the Hounslow Christian Fellowship.
Thank you for listening to us, and
We wish you from all of us.
From all
we
of
wish
us.
you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Highlight that it was prophesied nearly thousands of years.
And most of the prophecies are from around 700 BC, and they were fulfilled at the birth of Jesus, and when he was alive, and when he was crucified. And this is all recorded in the history, and there is a very clear-cut evidence for all these things.